What's up guys, Demon number 1 here, and today I'm gonna do my own little discussion on another death battle. This one's really good. Like, if death battle was ever to make it, it'd be like one of the best battles ever. And it doesn't matter who wins, the battle's gonna be that epic. Recently, if you watched my top 10 death ideas I want for as a death battle, or I don't know what I called it, but it was like my top 10 favorite possible death battles. I think that's like what I should have called it to make it sound better. No, like, I called it my top 10 death battle suggestions. That was it. And one of them was Raiden from Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance versus Sasuke from maybe the end of Naruto Shippuden, or just Naruto Shippuden in general. Now, not many people have thought of this. When it came to me, like when it snapped in my brain, I actually looked up on Google Images. There was not that many pictures. There was only like a few. There was like one over death battle. Like, well, there was a few, and then there was others, like there was a couple of fan arts. Then it was like Raiden versus Raiden, then Raiden versus Sasuke, and then other stuff. Then it just got weird. But today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to discuss with you who would win if these two would ever to clash in a one-on-one fight. Now, when I do this, kind of like Death Battle, I don't allow outside help. Now, that doesn't mean that, like, stuff like, say for Raiden, like, that exoplasma stuff that he uses to regenerate himself. I'm not saying he can't use that. Like, if he finds a random robot, like, say they were in a place where there were some dead geckos. I think they're called geckos in the Metal Gear game. Yeah, like some dead geckos, some old robots. If he found some exoplasma, that's fine. He can use that. I'm not that kind of person who says, oh, no healing items, or nothing. There's no way they can heal themselves to make themselves a little bit better. Because if I did that, it'd be unfair. People would be like, oh, that's not fair. Then Sasuke can't eat ramen to make himself a little bit better like Naruto does. Or the fact that that means Raiden can't heal himself, and he rolls low on energy all the time. Now, I'm gonna break it down into. Usually I do five categories, but I'm gonna do 6 now, and the last one's weakness. Like, what is the weakness? So it's gonna go strength, speed, techniques, like martial art techniques, or just, I don't know. Because if I say techniques, then that counts as a power move, because Sasuke uses ninjutsu techniques. He uses jutsu techniques, and I already have power. Wait, is power a factor? So strength, speed, martial arts. I'm going to say martial arts, techniques / abilities, feats. Like, I go off very great feats that they've done, and weakness. I only add weakness because people will be like, okay, they might say something and then someone else or I'm gonna have to explain afterwards what in one way Raiden would look like. They say, oh, Sasuke could just put his sword through his chest and that's it, he's dead. No, Raiden's arm is too great for even the snake sword to penetrate him that easily. That's not one of his weaknesses. So, alright, I'm already like blabbering on, making mistakes for the first 5 minutes, so let's get into this straight away. Strength. Now, throughout Naruto, Sasuke was slightly physically stronger than Naruto. Like in the original Naruto series, Sasuke was physically stronger. Like out of the two guys, he was the stronger ninja. But Naruto sometimes was actually faster than him, or just had more chakra in reserves than Sasuke. But when I say strength, I don't mean like you know how Dragon Ball Z say, "I'm the strongest in the world." That doesn't mean you're the physically strongest. That means you are probably really strong, but you're just mostly powerful. That's it. No, I mean physical strength, like lifting, pushing, pulling. Just real strength, muscles. Using these puppies we have, us humans have here, our bicep, tricep, calves, back, our whole body to move heavy objects. That's the definition of being strong. Now, when I see Sasuke, at first I didn't know he could, but he was like, he can lift Zabuza's executioner blade. I saw it in an episode of Shippuden when he was fighting Killer Bee. He used his own sword, like lifted his sword, picked up the execution blade, chucked it back to can't remember the kid's, like the fish guy's name. I can't remember his. Doesn't want to mess with my hair. It doesn't matter. But yeah, and that sword's pretty heavy. Have you seen the size of it? That thing looks heavy as hell. It's like something Cloud would use in Final Fantasy. Well, why did I say that? I mean, it looks like someone's like Gus would use in the Berserk anime series. That's a good anime, by the way. I've not watched it, but it looks cool and amazing. Like, it looks something ridiculous out of Soul Calibur. Let's just say that. Now, come on, Soul Calibur is a good game. But anyway, we're not talking about Soul Calibur. We're talking about Naruto. Well, Sasuke from the Naruto series. Sasuke is pretty physically strong. He's always been slightly physically stronger than Naruto, but sometimes Naruto has proven he's actually physically stronger than Sasuke, but it's been vice versa. Kind of like Goku and Vegeta. No one really knows who's the physically stronger one. No one knows that. Everyone knows Goku is probably always going to be faster than Vegeta, but sometimes Vegeta does something that looks stronger than what Goku does. So that's the whole thing with Sasuke. I can't really say how strong he is without using chakra. Like, he probably left that sword with like minimal effort. I mean, he just looked like he picked it up with minimal ease. He didn't need chakra or anything. But with energy, he can be a lot stronger. Like, he can hit people harder. He can break rocks, break people through rocks. I think he can lift rocks as well. I don't know. I'm sorry for the life of me. I've never seen Sasuke doing something really impressive in strength. To be honest with you, I'm not that far into Shippuden, so I don't know if he has done something incredible. Like, could he lift something like heavy, like let's say, like that giant meteorite that Madara brought down to Earth in his Susanoo form? Yeah, Susanoo form. Could he lift more? Because that's a giant, weird spirit man beast thing. Now, when you see something ginormous, you know, think, oh, that thing could probably lift a lot. It's huge. That is true, usually. That's like the law of being a giant. Alright, that's pretty much Sasuke. I'm gonna say at the most, maybe with Susanoo, he's strong enough to hold back a Jinchuriki and maybe lift a giant piece of rock. That's about it. Now, Raiden. This is easy with Raiden. Now, I mean it when I say this. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance Raiden. No one can say any bullshit about, oh no, Raiden from Metal Gear Solid 2, he was so weak. No. I'm using Sasuke from Naruto Shippuden, and I'm using Raiden from Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. So I don't want anyone saying different. So, Raiden is really, really strong. He can lift and toss a Metal Gear Ray in a slightly upgraded version of the suit he was wearing in Metal Gear Solid 4. And that wasn't even his final form, I guess, or final suit. His final suit made him much stronger. He could lift, he could lift and judo toss a giant Metal Gear which was built to survive nuclear war. It was literally bigger than Peace Walker. It was built like Peace Walker. It's bigger than Rex, taller than Ray, bulkier than any other Metal Gear I've ever seen. Probably not bulkier than that giant freaking tank from Peace Walker. That thing was huge and bulky as shit. But it's probably as dense. But Raiden lifted it judo master style over his shoulder, still holding on to like a giant laser blade. It had like a kind of like a lightsaber, but it wasn't that strong. Like he lifted it, he tossed it, and then without lifting it again, he managed to snap the arm. Maybe it was broken anyway when it flipped. Like with him holding it out, it ricocheted and broke a bit. So when he pulled it back, it broke it off. And then he fought a sword duel with his building-sized sword against the Metal Gear and finished it off as blinding speed, but that's speed. But included strength. He was lifting something that was a building-sized sword. Like imagine a sword, like let's say an old-fashioned knight sword. Like picture a knight and picture their sword. Imagine that building size. No, I don't mean like a house. That's pretty big. No, I mean a building, like an actual building, like a gigantic shopping mall, at least that size. Yeah, he lifted that, fought a duel with it, holding it his own, and then sliced through it. Sure, it was made of plasma, so that helped a little, but that was mostly his strength, cutting right through it, lifting that thing. That thing wasn't as heavy the whole thing, but it's still pretty heavy. He looked like he struggled a little with the last final slice. He went like, yeah. But he lifted something that probably weighed a shit ton. Now apparently a Metal Gear Ray weighs over 1,000 tons. That is insane. That's heavy as hell. So Exelon, I'm guessing that was the name of the, I think that was the name of the Metal Gear Raiden Superman judo toss there over his shoulder. I'm gonna take a stab at it and say that thing weighed 100,000 tons. Just a stab. I don't know exactly. If I was to research it, probably be more. Like, I know a lot about Raiden, but I mean, when I do these discussions, I don't always go into full research. If I was to go on, let's say, a wiki page, it wouldn't, and I found out something about Sasuke which I never knew before, it wouldn't really matter that much, because it might be something. It doesn't matter if it's something important, because someone might say something very minuscule, which would be relevant, I guess. But Raiden was literally lifting something that weighed 100,000 tons. Let's say about that much. Because that thing was ridiculously big. Sorry about that noise, my stepdad had my computer screwed up a little. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Raiden can lift over 100,000 tons. Let's say that's maybe his maximum, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I couldn't tell for the life of me. But let's just say for now that was his maximum. So with that alone, with all the things I've seen Raiden do, I'm sorry, but he is way, way, way stronger than Sasuke. I'm sorry. I have to give it to Sasuke. I'm sorry. I have to give the strength round to Raiden because he's just immensely stronger. And physically, he is just so much stronger. Alright. Now, speed. This is getting hard again. Because how do I explain this lightly? Because Raiden, I don't know if he was using the electricity on his feet to go up a building. Right. Say this ball here I'm holding is a building. He fell out, jumped on a couple of robot birds, then, even though he had electricity on his feet, I don't know if that gave him some form of different gravity, but he was running so fast that he ran up the building sideways until he had to go back into a window. I don't know why he couldn't just run all the way to the top, but maybe there was like a limit. But he was literally just running along at super fast speeds up a building. Now I don't know with the electricity that he had in his body or on his feet gave him the ability to stick to walls, because I think I've heard that if you can manage to generate enough electricity on a certain part of your body, you can stick to almost anything. So either he was using electricity on his feet, like say this is his foot, there's enough electricity generating around, given the wall, not given the wall, sorry, giving him the ability to what looks like him running up a wall. That's literally what it looks like. Either the electricity is causing him to stick to the wall no matter how many times he comes off, but he's going step by step by step at super fast lightning, like near lightning fast speeds up the side of a building. Now I don't know if that's super speed, because apparently speedsters like Flash, Quicksilver, Sonic can run so fast they run up the side of a building. I don't know if that's because the speed had given them momentum to keep running to, I guess, a surface that gravity would push down on. Because if you're on a floor and you run along, gravity just doesn't bother you that much. But if you're on like a surface, gravity would push much more intense because you're going against the flow. But right now, Raiden is running so fast that he's running against gravity and defying all logic, or he's generating, or with the electricity you see on his feet, the electricity is giving him kind of like a chameleon suction pattern at lightning fast speed. He's still going pretty fast, but the electricity that appears on his feet is giving him some form of anti-gravity for a short period of time, which is still cool. Now, I'm really good with the whole electricity thing, because to me that makes more sense with Raiden. I mean, I know he's a cyborg, and I know there's a possibility he can be really, really fast, But if he was fast enough to run up a building, then he's fast enough to get to probably to another city in about a minute. I mean, he had 2 hours to get to, like, where was it, like, Afghanistan? I don't know where the bloody, like, it was somewhere over in Asia. I think, yeah, somewhere, like, over in Asia that he had to get to fight the final Metal Gear and Armstrong. But if you, like, science has proven, or like at least cartoons have proven, if a character is fast enough to run up a building, they are fast enough to run from continent to continent more easily. Because when you run up against gravity, it's harder to run up. Like, if you've seen like an episode of The Flash, if he's running around the floor, he's really fast. When he gets to the building, he's slightly slower because gravity's pushing against him and he's on an impossible running surface. So on land, like flat land, he's faster. It's like that. It's like instantaneous. But on the wall, he's slightly slower. Now, if Raiden could run up a building, like, I know it wasn't that much, like, it was like maybe a quarter of the building, but even if he could run up a quarter of the building, he could maybe make it over to another continent by running on water. But no, I don't think he's that fast, because if he was, Ninja Run would make him much faster on the floor. But he was going as fast on the wall as he was on the floor for some reason. And I can swear there's no way on the game to upgrade him to run faster than that. So I'm going to say he uses, with the electricity that appears on his feet, he's using electrons on his feet to stick to the wall like a chameleon. That one makes more sense. But that's running speed. Fighting speed, he's much faster. Now, excluding Zendatsu, he's a really fast slice em up type character. If he includes Zendatsu, which is a special ability, I suppose super speed is a special ability anyway. But if he uses Zendatsu, his vision of time in normal mode can slow down 50%. That's like half the time humans normally perceive time. Like, humans can perceive time probably as fast as a clock shows you. But he can see time slower than that thanks to Zendatsu. Now that's not him, that's the programming he has probably in his visor. But whatever it is, it just allows him to see time 50% slower. Like, this is normal time. No Zendatsu. This is Zendatsu. It's so slow, right? Now that's normal Zendatsu. Ripper mode, which makes Raiden a lot stronger and faster, by the way. Ripper mode makes him at least twice, maybe 3 times stronger, and makes him... No, I'm going to just say 2 times stronger. I'm going to say Ripper mode makes Raiden at least 2 times stronger. And 2 times faster, probably. I'm going to say that. Ripper mode gives him, like, boosts everything he normally has by 2. So his strength before that 100,000 tons, which I don't think he did in Ripper mode, by the way. When I see the footage, he's not in Ripper mode. He's in normal mode. So times that by 2, that's 200,000 tons. That's ridiculous. That's the reason why he gets more points for winning strength. But with speed, the building feat, I suppose he'd be fast. He is slightly faster running while he's in Ripper mode. I kind of never tried it, but I might be willing to try at some point. But yeah. Now with normal Zendatsu it's 50%. With Ripple Zendatsu, even though I said strength and speed got times by twice, for some reason, according to Death Battle, I don't know if it's true or not, I've not seen it, but his vision time gets slowed down 80% slower. 80% slower. And did you know the maximum slowness for a camera, like a speed camera, can only perceive a car at 60% slower than the human vision? Yeah, he sees things better than a freaking security speeding camera. That's ridiculous. So here's Raiden, normal, 50%. And here's 80. It's like waiting for an old lady to cross the street. Come on, hurry up. That's what it would kind of look like. To him, 80% slower. To people, he's like lightning. To him, it's like he's watching a bunch of turtles. Not the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, no, real life turtles, like the ones that crawl ever so slowly. No, screw that, a slug. It's like he's watching a bunch of snails and slugs. And they're so slow to him. And that's what makes his fighting speed and reaction speed insanely, like to near God heights, like probably maybe even beyond the God height. Now, yeah, I spent like a good few minutes talking about that. Now Sasuke speed. Now, people in Naruto are pretty fast. Sasuke, I don't know how fast he is. He can do a move called Kirin, which is literally an actual giant lightning tiger hitting you, literally at the same speed as lightning. But it's called but he says be gone with the thunder clap. Same difference. When you hear like a thunder clap, that means lightning has come. That's what a thunder clap is. Somewhat. But anyway, now Sasuke's pretty fast. Like he can do like a weird thing, like where you know how Akuma can sort of do that vision thing where like he's there and then he visions through someone's abilities or around them and they don't even see it. It's like it's almost like the after image technique. You go away, you're not seen, and then they're behind you. Like here they are. Here's the hand. Here's the person. They're gonna attack. Then to the hell. It's like that. Now two reasons can be behind that. Well, maybe three. One, he's actually going so fast that the human eye can't perceive him. Now, I don't know how fast you have to go for the human eye to not perceive anything, but you would have to go maybe. Well, people say no human has ever gone faster than lightning. You'd be wrong if you were to look at Minato's insane speed. Yeah, he's like teleport. That's faster than lightning because it's instantaneous. It's like the instant transmission. Damn Naruto, you a good anime. But anyway, Sasuke is pretty fast. Like he can run around someone pretty fast. Like he can fight someone really fast because he's an incredible taijutsu fighter. And with the Sharingan, without the Sharingan, he's pretty good. With the Sharingan, just like Zendatsu, his his well, everything he sees, he's not seeing things faster. Like he can see things faster. Everyone's just so slow to him that he's like, really, you're taking that long to get to me? Bugger off. Like when you saw him activate the final third little curly dot thing on his eye when he fought Naruto in the original series, Naruto went so slow, and Sasuke could predict every move before Naruto could make it because he's that slow. He was that slow to Sasuke. And when he upgrades it with the Mangekyo Sharingan, everything's much slower. Now I don't know if everything's a bit slower with the Rinnegan. Probably down because Jiraiya was not that fast, but he could still hit pain. So whatever. And maybe things could be would be a little bit slower extra with the Eternal Mangekyo. But I'm not sure. I doubt it though. So yeah, Sasuke can see things super slow, but it depends on his speed as well. He may be able to see someone going slow, but he might not be fast enough himself to react to it. Like he could see Rock Lee's moves, but he wasn't fast enough to react to them, even though he could see. It's like Superman. He can see Flash running, but he's not fast enough to stop him from doing what he's about to do. Like Superman could stand there, Flash could be running beyond what normal sight can see, but Superman can see him moving. Superman's not fast enough to stop him. He could just. So that's basically the gist of the Sharingan and maybe Zendatsu as well. You can see someone going, like you may be able to see someone going slow, but you might not be fast enough yourself to stop him anyway. You can see him about to kick you, but you may not be fast enough to stop him kicking you. If you were fast enough, then that's it. Your eyes and your body's ready. But if you're slow, you may be able to see it coming and think, oh, I'm gonna block or move, but you can't because they're still fast. That's how it worked with Sasuke against Rock Lee. Because Rock Lee was too fast for Sasuke's body. In comparison, in speed, let's say Sasuke was like Quicksilver, but Rock Lee was the Flash. Now everyone knows the Flash is faster than Quicksilver. I mean, I like Marvel, but I know for a fact Flash is faster because Quicksilver's never run through time or run through dimensions. Whoop-de-doo, DC, you made a really fast man who wears red spandex. Whoop-de-freaking-do. Now, don't take that out of context. I like the Flash. He's really cool, but I hate how people keep thinking he can beat Sonic. I mean, I've explained don't know if I have explained billions of times actually. But I've said to myself and some other people billions of times, Sonic is faster. I'm sorry. But that's the Flash. I'm going off topic, but yeah. Sasuke was Quicksilver, but Rock Lee was the Flash. And let's say Quicksilver somehow can still see him, but he's not fast enough to stop him. That's the only problem. But Sasuke does get faster. Like he can see almost anyone's moves thanks to Sharingan. Probably more now thanks to Mangekyo. And maybe Eternal Mangekyo makes that, well, it's called Eternal Mangekyo because it's permanent. You can use it for as long as you want. Nothing can go wrong. Your eyes will never fade. Or maybe, no, you will. As far as I know, it's either you can just use the Mangekyo for as long as you want, or you just don't lose sight. Because normally when you use the Mangekyo, you eventually lose your sight. Like, you can't see. You go blind. Sasuke's fast enough to go around a person, like, he's there, and then he's there again. He can puff himself away, but that's not speed. But he's pretty fast when he has to use a substitution. Like, sometimes when a ninja uses a log as a substitution, that means they've randomly found a piece of log out of nowhere, or they've had it in a scroll, because that's possible in Naruto. And he's fast enough to see someone going to attack them, get the log, come back, turn the log into them, or swap themselves for the log, and then the puff smoke there back where the log was, and the log's there, taking the blow. So he's fast enough to do something like that, which sounds insane. But I am so confused, because Zendatsu and the Sharingan pretty much do the same thing. And maybe Ripper Mode Zendatsu is probably maybe equal to Mangekyo Sharingan. Not in power, maybe, but in speed seeing. Like, maybe now let's say Mangekyo Sharingan Eternalized, because I doubt it's going to get any stronger, is as good as Ripper Mode Zendatsu. Like, it can see the world going at 8% left. Like, Sasuke can see the world 8% slower than he normally would if he wasn't activating them. Non-activated, world's normal. Activated, world's so much slower. How does it not make him insane? Seeing the world so slow. I mean, with someone like, let's say if he was to fight, what's a good example? Who's like super slow? Say Sasuke randomly fought Big the Cat from Sonic the Hedgehog. He would get so bored waiting for Big to make a move. Then he'd be like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna kill him. That's what Sasuke's like with any slower character than him anyway. But with Raiden, it's gonna be hard because they both probably have the same reaction and slowness seeing abilities. Who knows, maybe Eternal Mangekyo might allow Sasuke to see at 90%, but until I know how slow he sees things, I'm just gonna say the eyesight is equal for now. I'm gonna speed goes to both. I can't decide who's faster. Sasuke's pretty fast with like doing substitutions, going around the person behind him, like he's there and then he's back behind him in an instant. Raiden's pretty good at like running around thanks to what's called, I think it's called Ninja Run. How convenient, eh? Yeah, thanks to Ninja Run, he's really fast. He can be in front of someone 1 second and then behind him, thanks to Zendatsu, because to him, like, if he was standing in front of someone, he could walk, be behind them, and then slice him, and to them, it'd be like either a second or a millisecond, because to him, the world's slow, but to everyone else, he's going at like probably near lightning fast speeds, like at speeds that the human eye can't normally proceed. And that's the point of Zendatsu and Sharingan, to give you the peripheral vision beyond normal humans. Some humans can actually focus through training and maybe some slight upgrade, like mechanical upgrades. Some humans can actually perceive the world slower. Like, I think Bruce Lee said when he sees a punch, it's like he can see everything that the punch is going to do before it does it. the thing he said that was. That's basically what the Sharingan and Zandatsu is. It's basically just being able to see everything before it, literally almost before it happens, and be able to predict the movement. It's basically being like Taskmaster, predicting the opponent's moves before they make it. In fact, I don't know if Sasuke gets that level. He probably does, but when Kakashi uses the one Sharingan, he can copy someone's ability so precise at the exact same second. Like when someone makes a hand symbol like snake, he sees they're gonna do that, and he manages to do it at the same speed at the same time, because they're so slow, and judging by their hands, he can quickly do it exactly at the same time. Like in his eyes, people are slower, and in his mind, he's thinking, okay, copy them perfectly. So when he copies them, he's seeing them go slow, so slow that he can just be slow himself and copy them. Hell, even if they go fast and do something incredibly insane, he could probably do the same, and people would just think it's like he is them. That's basically what it was like when he fought against Zabuza. It was insane how it worked, and I loved it. Maybe Sasuke can do something similar like that. I've never seen him technically copy someone else's ability. I don't know if he used the Sharingan to copy Kakashi's Chidori. Probably did, because Naruto doesn't have peripheral vision to copy Master Jiraiya's Rasengan. He had to learn how to do it himself. So, who knows? But I'm dragging this on. So now skills / techniques. So now I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna stay on Sasuke for a while. Skills and sorry, it's not skills and techniques. Sorry, it's martial arts. In the Naruto world, there's only 2 martial arts. I didn't know until I watched one. I think was a filler. It was a filler episode in the Naruto series. My guy said these are dummies for kung fu training. Now, that's in China. Now, I think to myself, isn't the Naruto world supposed to be in Japan? Then I think to myself, hold on then. Hold on then. Do they go to China at some point? Because there are Chinese ninjas. Because there are samurais, then there's ninjas of many types. But mostly what real ninjas, besides the whole, my guy saying this is kung fu training, so I'm thinking right now, and there was like the whole Chinese medicine balls that Rock Lee had to eat once. Nothing but taijutsu users like taijutsu masters know kung fu as well. It stands to reason that they probably do, because some of the moves they do in taijutsu doesn't look like it's from karate. It looks like something you see that something like Bruce Lee would do, which is basically what my guy and Rock Lee are based off. They're both based off Bruce Lee, if you couldn't tell. So yeah, Sasuke's martial arts, I doubt he uses kung fu. He uses taijutsu, which is, I don't know if it's meant to be a reference to like Tai Chi, but all it is basically is, kind of like karate mixed with what you would normally see a ninja was fight like. If you saw like a movie with a ninja in and they do moves that doesn't look like it's from karate, but you know they're a Japanese ninja. he does like those sort of moves. He like does crazy moves, like anything that he can use to hurt his opponent or incapacitate. That's basically what taijutsu is. And it also doesn't just fall under hand to hand, it can also fall under using weapons. That's also taijutsu. So that's what Sasuke uses. He uses like multiple varieties of punches, kicks. I think it is a mixture like of karate and kung fu, in a sense, which is insane. Now Raiden, he uses, I don't know. It never clearly states what martial art he uses. He probably uses some form of kung fu, maybe, because he does insane martial arts when he fought against Wolverine. Like, he like did insane quick spin, backwards kicks, flip kicks, twirl kicks. So he probably does some weird form of kung fu, and it's awesome to look at. So, but because Ryan's not he's really good, but he's not the best martial artist. So I'm gonna give martial arts to Sasuke because, well, because not only does Sasuke look like he has slightly more moves than Raiden doesn't really use something that is classed as a full martial art. He uses like the most random of moves. But Sasuke actually uses a martial art style, taijutsu, which falls under ninjutsu, which is not only just ninja training, it's martial arts in today's standards. So yeah, Sasuke actually uses a proper martial art, while Raiden just uses anything that he can use to hurt his opponent, or just play about with him until he can get his sword back. That's basically what he's like. Which is a shame, really. I really wish he like was taught CQC by Snake. Then he'd be a lot better. He would actually know a full-fledged martial art. Because CQC is like MMA mixed in with being able to turn a person's gun or weapon against them. That's what CQC is, and it's amazing. It is one of the most amazing martial arts ever. When you look at someone using CQC, you think, hang on, that moves from MMA. Because it is. It's mixed martial arts mixed in with being able to, like, you know, in karate, you get taught how to grab someone's arm or grab a knife out of their hand. It's basically the mastery of that, and it is amazing. But Raiden doesn't know all that much. He just uses anything he can do to hurt his opponent until he can get his sword back. Sasuke actually doesn't need his sword all that much because he's an actual physical fighter. He likes going in physically sometimes. So yeah, martial arts goes to Sasuke. Oh boy, this is gonna take a while. So the next one was techniques and abilities. I think. Yeah, it was techniques and abilities. Now I know what you're thinking, doesn't abilities come under techniques? No. Because say you have, say like the shotgun, that's not a technique, that's an ability. And when you have an ability like super speed, you could have a technique for that, but super speed's not a technique, it's an ability. It's basically ability is a fancy word for superpower. And so anyway, now I'm going to explain techniques. I'm going to limit it to about 10 to 15 techniques, because if there's any more, it's just going to get ridiculous. Right. So Sasuke techniques go as such: the Fire Style Jutsu, Dragon Flame Jutsu, Phoenix Flower Jutsu, Chidori, Chidori Stream. Giant Chidori the sword, I guess. Kirin. Amaterasu, which he can't use without the Mangekyo, by the way. Does Susanoo count as a technique? No, it's more of an ability. Yeah, I'm gonna go to 15 because I don't think there's that many. That's about 8. So yeah, that's 8 abilities so far. I'm gonna go through them again so I can think of more. Fireball Jutsu, Dragonfire Jutsu, Phoenix Flower Jutsu, Chidori, Chidori Stream, Chidori Sword, Amaterasu, Kirin. Should have said them in a different order. Whatever. Kirin. Ino is basically Amaterasu. In the game Naruto Ninja Storm 3, Sasuke has this ability called Black Fire Jutsu. Now I don't know if that's just meant to be a joke, like saying, oh, I don't need my eyes anymore, I can do the Black Fire Jutsu without my eyes. I don't know if that was a slight joke or that's an actual ability. You'll have to let me know about that one. But so far I can only come up with 8. I mean, there's loads. Like, if I include Sasuke's Rinnegan, he can teleport. Is not a technique, it's an ability. I think Sasuke can bring down meteorites from the sky like Madara can. That, like, is that an ability or a technique? Shit. He can use like some form of like crossbow, I think, with his Susanoo. I think it's called like Susanoo. I don't know what it is. It's just a giant. He just shoots a giant arrow. I think that's Sasuke. I think so, yeah. That's about it. I can't think of any more. I mean, I love Sasuke, and he probably has other abilities. Like, I don't know if like the Lion's Barrage counts as a technique. I mean, it's pretty darn old, and I've never seen Sasuke use it in Shippuden for a bloody while. I've never seen him use Lion's Barrage in a good while. I was saying he hasn't been using it, I just not noticed. Oh yeah, now I remember, he can use snakes to attack people. I think that counts as a technique and an ability. Like, he can use many forms of snakes to attack his opponents. There's 10. I try my best. I know there's probably more, but that's it. There's 10. 10. Now with Raiden, he could do like a one-handed electric blast thing. He can do a sword uppercut. There's like movesets that he has. He can parry his opponents. It's an ability and a technique. Like, you can parry his opponent's attack back and attack them really quick without them seeing anything. That's comes under both. Not really much else Raiden can do. And I mean in abilities, Sasuke can use the Sharingan, Mangekyo, Eternal Mangekyo, the Rinnegan. He can teleport, I think. He can summon snakes. He can use Genjutsu, Taijutsu, Ninjutsu, which is how he does all his abilities, like what requires all the hand symbols. He can activate the Susanoo, or yeah, I think it's pronounced Susanoo, and I don't know why I did that. I was just super bored. That's already 10. That was easier because those are abilities, and he has incredible speed. He has some slight good strength. His martial arts prowess is incredible. His swordsmanship skills are amazing. He's mastered probably 5, maybe 10 forms of the Chidori. He's like the master of the Chidori now. That is amazing. Props to Sasuke. That's like 15 now. That's ridiculous. Raiden's abilities are just insane strength, insane speed, Zendatsu, near unmatched swordsmanship abilities. By the way, just so it's fair, let's see. No. Alright, I'm giving Raiden 2 weapons. The Murasama and Monsoon's Sai, because with Sasuke being able to use the Rinnegan that can move stuff around, like he can make a meteorite come out with gravitational force or magnetic force, I'm giving Raiden that to sort of even it out. So yeah. So he has Zendatsu, super strength, super speed, near unmatched swordsmanship abilities, some form of martial arts, I guess. Oh yeah, he has the nectoplasma stuff that heals him. Like it's like this weird thing that he gets out of, like cyborgs and some form of robots. He can get them out of them, and it gives him back his energy. But I'm limiting them only to 1 each. Like Sasuke gets the electroplasmid, and Sasuke gets like maybe a bowl of ramen or a food pill. Those both do the same thing. I mean, it'd be weird, right? Sasuke just sitting quickly eating a bowl of ramen, so I'm gonna give him a food pill because it's quicker. That's about it. When it comes to techniques and abilities, Raiden has insane ones, but he hasn't got that many. So for more techniques, Sasuke wins. For more abilities, Sasuke wins. For better abilities, I think it would be a tie. For better techniques, maybe a tie again, I don't know. Oh wait, I should put it down to 7 categories because I'm gonna have to include weapons. Right, there's 7 now. So I've done strength, Raiden wins. Speed is a draw. Martial arts goes to Sasuke. Abilities and techniques slightly in Sasuke's favor, but maybe a tie. Now the 5th one was feats. So the sixth one will be weakness. No wait, the sixth one will now be weapons, and number 7 will be weakness. Yeah, 7 categories. This is gonna take a while, but it's a big discussion. So now on the 5th one, feats. Now I've already said a few feats, right? But I'm gonna explain the greatest feats, or of what I've seen. Raiden's greatest feat is being able to lift and toss a 100,000-pound robot judo style over his shoulder, rip off his built-in size plasma sort of sword, fire a duel of it, then cut it at blinding speed. That is literally an insane feat. Not many cyborgs can do that. I don't even know if Mega Man could do that. I think, hell, if Raiden went up against Mega Man, I would have to say maybe Raiden, because he sounds better. I'm sorry, Mega Man, you're not that much of a great robot when Raiden's kicking so much ass. I mean, I'm pitting him up against an anime character, for Christ's sake. I'm not serious about him. The greatest feat I've ever seen Sasuke do, I also conclude what I've seen on Shippuden and what I've seen on the video games. On the anime, like the cartoon anime, Sasuke beat Itachi. Now, Itachi is not the easiest person to beat. He was like really hard, but I think Itachi was going slightly easy on him, just a little. He beat Orochimaru, not an easy task to do as well. Beating Danzo was a pretty good feat. I'm trying to think of the best feat he's ever done. Oh yeah, there was like one gigantic meteorite which could have taken out the whole of the Hidden Leaf Village. Even half of it might have done the same, but only half of it was destroyed, and all it took was him jumping up with one Chidori. Don't know how powerful it was, but it took only one Chidori. He destroyed half a meteorite. That's insane. That is insane. And I remember once while he was in Susanoo form, I think he held back Naruto's Jinchuriki. I don't know. Maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. I'm not sure, but I think I'm gonna go with the greatest feat. And by the way, it's off a movie, the last Naruto movie. Great movie. Bit confusing with the whole Tenseigan, but still really good movie. Yeah, but Sasuke literally jumps up, one Chidori, destroys half a gigantic meteorite, which could have destroyed the entire Hidden Leaf Village. How insane is that? Now, I can't compare because meteorites can destroy a shit ton of stuff, but nuclear weapons can do probably as the same and sometimes more. Like, nuclear weapons can destroy an entire city. In fact, I think there's some nuclear weapons out there that may be able to level an entire continent. I'm not entirely sure, but maybe a city or at least 3 cities. There's gotta be like one nuclear bomb out there that can destroy at least 3 cities in like maybe America or anywhere. That's slightly scary but awesome to think about. Excuse me. But yeah. So Raiden can defeat a gigantic robot that can survive nuclear war. A robot that was built to survive nuclear weapons. Now, I don't know if it could take a nuclear weapon straight to it, but someone tells me if it says nuclear war, then it's either, now it means one of two things. One, it can survive nuclear radiation, whoever is controlling it, and two, it can survive a bomb if it hit it point blank. That's insane. That is insane to think about, isn't it? So, and the meteorite. So, I don't know how big the Hidden Leaf Village is, but it doesn't look as big as, like, the Hidden South Village, because that actually looks like a city. So, I'm gonna say, I think in feats, in the best feat, Raiden trumps. He not only broke pieces off with a sword. Now I know it's unfair because if some of you know who Raiden is, you know the sword has an ability which sounds completely unfair. But still, but that's like saying, but it's not like he just went like that with the sword. He used super strength to cut right through thick layers of probably titanium, steel, maybe some iron in there, lots of copper, maybe some lead and brass. It's gonna be really tough to crack. So Raiden can toss that around and break off some of his limbs and cut off some of them, and eventually just destroy it. I'm sorry to say, I think Raiden just beats Sasuke in feats. The whole meteorite thing sounds cool, but defeating something that can survive nuclear war is gonna be awesome. It's just gonna, I mean, to someone if say, oh, this guy can destroy me, like, whoa, that's cool. And then someone says, this guy can defeat a robot that's built to survive nuclear war, and then he's like, what? So, yeah. I'm sorry, feats go to Raiden. So that's the first 5. Now, normally I would end it like that, but I've added 2 more. So strength goes to Sasuke. Sorry. Strength goes to Raiden. Speed goes to both. Martial arts goes to Sasuke. Techniques and abilities slightly in Sasuke's favor, but I'm gonna say maybe a draw. Somewhat. Maybe. But it's a draw, but it's slightly in Sasuke's favor. So maybe 40-60 to Sasuke, if that makes sense, like, or 45-55, if that makes sense, to Sasuke, like, yeah. And then feats goes to Raiden. So now we got 2 more, but it's not gonna take long. Weapons. I'm giving Raiden. I'm giving them both only 2 weapons. Raiden's Murasama, which was originally named the Muramasa, which means demon sword, which is cool, and it had a weird name, but I'm just gonna name it Monsoon's Sai, because it has a special ability, which when you use it, it looks cool as hell. For Sasuke, I'm giving him his snake sword. And do kunais and shurikens count as 2 weapons? Yeah, I'm gonna give Sasuke a kunai as well, because that's at least fair. It's another sharp weapon which he can throw and use as a knife. How many? I don't know, because I don't know how strong a kunai is compared to a sai, but if a sai can snap a samurai sword, I'm supposedly given 2 weapons. 2 shurikens technically count as 2 weapons, and 2 kunais count as 2 weapons. So So yeah, I'm giving Sasuke one kunai and his snake sword. I don't know. Maybe Sasuke can just keep picking up his kunai if need be. So yeah, those are the weapons. Now, who has better weapons? I don't know. I don't know if Raiden's sword can go through the snake sword because it seems to be really, really strong. But Raiden's sword, the Murasama, can cut. Is really strong, but otherwise it has a special ability to cut at such a high frequency that it goes through them. It can destabilize and go through the molecular bonds of metal, of any metal or material, which sounds insane. But Sasuke's snake sword seems to be somewhat indestructible. I've never seen it been broken before. Sounds insane. I don't know if the side that's Raiden got from Monsoon's indestructible. Maybe it is thanks to its special ability. And kunai's, I think I've seen kunai's been broke before, but maybe Sasuke can make it stronger if he puts his Chidori through it, like he normally does with his swords. Like he can put the Chidori through it and make it literally like slightly like a plasma sword, which can cut through any material. Because I've seen Sasuke do that once, and I've seen Killer Bee do it because he has lightning style, and it was cutting right through Zabuza's execution blade. It was like going right through like a knife goes through butter. It was like going, and I was like, when I saw that, mind blow. It was just insanity. So, to tell you what has the better weapons, if it was kunai on Sai, maybe the Sai. I mean, sure, right, Sasuke could add the Chidori to it, but I don't know if it's gonna do that much because he doesn't use kunais that much anymore. If it was sword on sword, maybe a match. Maybe a match until Raiden uses enough strength and speed and it finally cuts through. Maybe. Maybe. Just, that's a draw. No. Maybe slightly on Raiden's side. Like, it's like with ability, techniques and abilities. It's like, instead of it, you know how I said it was slightly on Sasuke's side? Now it's slightly on Raiden's side with this one. So it's sort of half enough, but it's not exactly half enough. So it's like 45 to 55 for Raiden, if that makes any sense. So the last one, weakness. Now, if Raiden runs out of energy pretty fast, it does come back up a little bit gradually, but if he's not exhausting it, if he's like standing around doing nothing, he can't exhaust that much power. But he does run out eventually, and he needs a supply of ectoplasmids for Cyborg to keep it full. And Sasuke, similar, unless he has something to revive it back, he will eventually run out of chakra, because the Sharingan and all his moves burn off his chakra pretty fast, but he seems to be able to do the Chidori to a point where it doesn't exhaust it that much. And so, no one really wins in weakness, I suppose. But to say who has the greater weakness, maybe Raiden, because Sasuke has a lot of chakra, but he does waste quite a lot of it. And if Raiden was to wait and be patient and use his electroplasmid at the last possible point when he could need it, he could outlast Sasuke. But then again, if Sasuke takes the food pill, it'll revive some of his chakra as well. So, actually, that's a tie. Because they both eventually run out of energy, but they both have a lot. And they both have means to revive it back, like get more of it. So that one's a draw. Complete and utter draw. There's no shifting sides. 50-50. So, now we come to the winner of strength being Raiden, the winner of speed being both, the winner of martial arts being Sasuke, abilities and techniques slightly in Sasuke's favor, feats is Raiden, weapons slightly in Raiden's favor, and weakness is a draw. So let's tally them up. Raiden wins in strength. Now I'm not going to add points for ones that draw. Raiden wins in strength. And he wins in feats. And I'm going to give like maybe a half point for having the slight edge in weapons. So yeah, he has 2.5 points. Sasuke wins the martial arts. So Sasuke's points are: he wins in martial arts. He has the slight edge. He has the slight edge in abilities and techniques. He has the slight edge. I think I said that. Yeah, he has the slight edge in abilities and techniques. He has the slight edge. And that's about it. I think Sasuke only has 1.5 points. Cause I don't give half points to people who have tied. Did I do that with Raiden? No, because he had the slight edge in one of them. I give a real point and slight edge, so he has 1.5. If it was to do with points, Raiden would be superior at this point, but okay. Now people are gonna be disappointed that Raiden slightly wins more stuff than Sasuke, and how I'm doing this whole slight edge instead of just outright saying, okay, they just get the full point. But here's a scenario what could happen. Sasuke's traveling the world and he's killing so many people, and Raiden's still under contract to do missions, and Raiden is given a mission to stop Sasuke because he's killing too many people and he's considered evil. Even though Sasuke's not strictly evil, he still kills people, and the government doesn't see that as a good thing. So they send Raiden to stop Sasuke as a mission. They send Raiden to either stop him or eliminate him. Then Sasuke doesn't know about it unless somehow he finds a way to read Raiden's mind. I don't know how he would do that, but Sasuke would just see it as a new challenge, and to test his ability. So he'll fight Raiden. Raiden still will think I have to defeat this guy as part of the mission. But Sasuke thinks I have to beat him to be stronger. So they both want to defeat each other. It'll be like a serious fight. Raiden might think at first, I don't want to kill this guy. He's a kid. He's just a kid. Because Raiden is probably a lot older. But Sasuke will be like, will eventually get annoyed to the fact that he can't beat him easily, and Sasuke will be like, okay, I did this ability, but he's still okay, so why can't I kill him? And he'll get annoyed and fight more serious, and Raiden's gonna have to be like, alright, this guy's too dangerous, I have to kill him, I can't let him live. So they're both gonna want blood, eventually. They're both gonna be swinging swords, it's gonna be connecting, punching, lots of energy, jutsus everywhere. Freaking buildings being tossed, sliced in half. It's gonna be happening. It's just gonna be insane. Raiden's gonna hold the strength throughout the battle. Sasuke's gonna realize, okay, this guy's stronger than me. I can't beat him one-on-one in strength. But he'll notice that he's a better fighter, because thanks to the Sharingan, with him seeing slower, he not only sees stuff, he collects information. That's like his version of the Shadow Clone Jutsu, because Shadow Clones were used for reconnaissance. Were used for gathering information. I don't know the special word begin with the letter R. I don't know it. I'll just say gathering information. And Sasuke can learn a lot of things faster than Sharingan. He'll be like, okay, I know I'm a better martial artist, and Raiden won't stand that much of a chance, but he'll do pretty good because some of his moves are just too fast and insane. And Sasuke could be like, okay, this guy's not serious about fighting, but he does stuff that could hurt me if I'm not careful about it. Raiden's gonna notice, okay, my weapons are better than his. Raiden's gonna be like, I've got him, my weapons are better. They're both gonna be equal in speed, going around each other, slicing, fighting. Sasuke's gonna go in the air, maybe do a fire style jutsu. Yeah, I can do it. Then Raiden might either dodge it or uses epicness to cut it in half and go through it. Like he's gonna somehow be able to cut it in half, he jumps up, cuts it in half, and he's like, "I'm coming for you, bitch." And then Sasuke could eventually try to do the Chidori. Now Raiden's either gonna have to block it with the electricity he has in his sword, or he's gonna have to do that weird move where he sticks his hand out, kind of like Iron Man, does like a quick blast of what looks like electricity as well. So that might just even it out a little. They both just keep coming at each other, both killing each other, well, trying to kill. And Zendatsu and Sharingan are gonna keep matching each other. Then Sasuke's gonna get really pissed and he's gonna be like, that's it, I'm using the Eternal Mangekyo. He uses it. Raiden knows Sasuke's getting faster, better. He gets hissing, he gets cussing, he gets better. He does moves that Raiden doesn't know how to defend himself against. And then Raiden's gonna snap. He's gonna enter Ripper mode, and he's gonna be like, "That's it. This kid's really gonna die." Then Sasuke's gonna notice Raiden's better. He's gonna be really fast, cutting him. He's gonna be stronger. Gonna be swords flying everywhere. They're both good. Probably still. Someone's gonna hit the other, even though they probably can still predict each other's moves at the exact same time. They're both eventually gonna have to use their healing thing, but eventually Raiden's gonna run out of ectoplasm, so he's gonna have to just rely on his swords, on his insane strength and sword abilities, because he has no energy to use Zendatsu or Ripper mode anymore. He'll have to just rely on his skills and techniques with a sword. And then Sasuke's gonna eventually run out of chakra, which is gonna make him a little bit exhausted to move about, but he's still gonna use his sword, use his superior martial arts. So eventually it's going to come down to superior strength and a better weapon against superior martial arts and what did I say? So and better abilities. So those two are gonna clash. Just gonna go at it. It's either gonna end with Raiden finding a little bit of energy left to do one last Zendatsu to cut Sasuke right in half and kill him for good, or Sasuke's gonna find a way to cut through Raiden's body with his snake sword. Either way, one of them is gonna cut the other in half, and it's gonna end. If I was to be fair, or for my preference, because even though in points Raiden wins, but in the whole battle it's gonna be pretty much an all-out war between two people who are pretty much almost equal. Is for my preference, and for people who won't be that disappointed, it's gonna end in a draw. But if it ends up in terms of who has more stamina left, I think maybe Raiden will have the edge because his cybernetics will give him more stamina than even a ninja has. Ninjas like Sasuke have a shit ton of stamina, but I think Raiden might just have the edge thanks to his cybernetics. So if it was to come down to who has more stamina to keep fighting, Raiden would win. But if it was to come down to who could get the last good shot in, Raiden's gonna run out of electroplasm, so he can't use Zendatsu. Sasuke's gonna run out of chakra, so he can't use Sharingan. And he can't use the Chidori. But if it was to come down to like one final blow to finish it all off, if their swords were to finally connect and Raiden still has some good strength left in there, he might just break Sasuke's sword and just maybe chip Sasuke's chest, like the edge of Raiden's sword will just cut him down that way, and maybe Sasuke run actually I say run out of chakra so he can't run the Chidori through his sword, and Sasuke maybe finds some way to jab Raiden right in the chest with the rest of his sword. I don't know, but if it was to come down to like one final blow, maybe Raiden can take it, or maybe Sasuke can just get around Raiden and kill him. But in all fairness, I used to believe Raiden was gonna take it. But from all these studies, from all the feats and everything, even if you were to look at it from who has more points, Raiden would win. But if you forgot about all the points and you just added in everything that they both can do in comparison, it's just somehow gonna end in a draw. Somehow. And I think even if Sasuke does land a Chidori on Raiden, I don't know if it's gonna hurt him. I feel like it might fuel him more, give him more energy. So in that sense, if Raiden can somehow just absorb electricity from anything, even if it's fueled with some weird energy like chakra, he's probably gonna be energized and not need electroplasm. And Sasuke's just gonna be wasting chakra and wasting the jutsu on someone who can absorb electricity as a power source. And Raiden's gonna feel better. He's gonna be like, that guy's move made me feel better. I'm just saying, I feel like this Chidori is just gonna fuel Raiden. Even if Sasuke finds a place where Raiden kind of absorbs it from behind, maybe he can hurt him that way. But otherwise, I doubt it. if it was to come down who would have or who would have more power to end it at the end, maybe Ryan would take it because he might just be able to absorb the Chidori, and Sasuke's gonna have no chakra, maybe even no stamina to stop it, and he's gonna die. If it was to do with energy, it'd go to Raiden. If he could absorb the Chidori. I don't know if he can, but it seems really, really plausible if you think about it. I mean, he's a cyborg that needs electroplasm to feel himself. The word electro's in it, that means electricity. Chidori is lightning. Lightning is another form of electricity, and it could probably fuel Raiden. And Raiden can kind of bring down lightning from if he's inside a machine. I don't know what he did in Metalgearsolid 4 to do that, but overall, if it was to do with about trying to outwit each other, it'd be a draw. If it was who had the more energy at the end, it would be Raiden. If it was who had better swordsmanship skills, that would be a draw. Who has a better weapon, that's Raiden again, because he can cut through materials easily, but the snake sword's not that hard to break. Don't know if Sasuke's snake sword's better than Orochimaru's. I would maybe say so if he included the Chidori with it. It'd be more harder to destroy that way. If it was to come to strength, Raiden would win again. If it was to come down to hand, Sasuke would just get, even if Raiden goes insane, Sasuke's gonna be able to maybe see it better, predict it, and then finish off Raiden. So overall, if it was my preference, I like Naruto a lot, but I really love the Metal Gear franchise. If it was up to me, I would have Raiden win. If it was up to maybe the fan community, I think they say Sasuke would win because not many people like Raiden or Metal Gear. I think lots of people like Naruto more than the Metal Gear series. Like, there's more anime fans of Naruto than there are video game fans of the Metal Gear franchise. But if it was like overall comparing, I would call it a draw, just to be fair. So video game fans and anime fans wouldn't be that upset. They'd be like, okay, I suppose that's fair, because with draws, there's less debate. If you say like Goku loses to Superman because of some reason, there's gonna be a lot of debate. But with draws, like, I don't know, a Goomba versus a Koopa, you know why they would draw, because they're both as pathetic or both just as good. So both video game fans and anime fans are happy. They're like, okay, Sasuke could have done something else, but I suppose it's fair, because whenever I see a draw between two characters, like say Goku and Sonic, if I see them draw, I know that's fair, because whenever I go over those two in my head, I keep coming to the conclusion they would either draw, or Goku would blast Sonic away, or Sonic would get one incredibly strong kick on Goku and kill him. But like, either way, I'm not that upset because I both really like the characters. I really like both characters, sorry. So, but when I see matches where they ended a draw, I'm happy about that, because it sort of makes sense. They're both sort of equal in a way. So if it was up to me, I'd pick Raiden. If it was up to the fans, it'd probably be Sasuke. But I'm gonna make it even and say this battle would be a draw. No matter how many times you swing it, sure, might be a technique Sasuke could use to kill Raiden, or Raiden could do a technique that I don't remember that could kill Sasuke. I don't know, but for all the purposes now, I'm saying Raiden and Sasuke. If those two were to battle, even with the scenario I played out, the battle would overall probably end in a draw anyway. So I hope you enjoyed this little discussion. I don't know if this, well, I did a discussion on Shadow vs Mewtwo and like a whole box thing, but this is my first like proper death battle discussion, I think. Did I do a discussion on anything else? Anyway, well, this is one that's not been done yet, which I want to be done. This is one that I want to go on death battle, and this is what I think would happen. If you think different, please put a comment saying who you think would win, what you think would happen, what technique beats this, who's really stronger, who's really faster, who's really a better martial artist, all that. If you want to, please do tell, but try not to say you're an idiot for not knowing this. I don't appreciate snarky comments like that. If you're gonna comment, be constructive with it, like say good information. Even if it's on one character, that's fine, but just try and be a little bit nice. I probably know as much as about Sasuke as I do Raiden, which is funny to say. I'm a huge Metal Gear fan. In fact, I know more about Solid Snake than I do Raiden. But then again, I know more about Naruto than I do Sasuke. So yeah, for all intents and purposes, if those two were to come together, if it was up to me, it'd be Raiden. If it was up to the fans, it'd probably be Sasuke. But for overall, looking through all what they can do, I would say they would end in a draw. So this battle between Raiden from Metal Gear Rising: Revengence and Sasuke from Naruto Shippuden, this battle would be a draw. So leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, join the Hedgehog Army today, and I will see you guys in the next video of whatever I make. Stay awesome. You ready for this? It's coming. It's a big one. Dragon Fist. Hiya!